In this video, we will start to learn how you can create an employee certificate system. So what's the goal with this? Well, quite commonly, an employee might ask for a certificate of employment. And what we want to do is create a automated version of a certificate of employment where we have our not our customers, but our employees who registered in the database, matching with their position and their starting date when they started their position and the ending date when they stopped their job, or as anything else, whatever would be necessary for that. For example, they want to show that they leave the company, but they want to have a certificate of employment proving that they worked at our company. So how can we do that? Well, basically, we need a few things. Number one, we need data from our employees. We will make a special tab for that. Number two, what we need is we need the design of the certificate. Number three, we need to create like a dashboard or a tab specifically with the controls. So the dashboard with controls. Alright, so this is what we will do, and let's start with that. Number one, let's make the basic data for the employee. Now this will be very straightforward. We can put in here the employee ID, have the first name. Here we can put in the last name, or if there's a middle name as well possible. Middle initial maybe. Initial. No, initial, of course, initial. Alright, and then we have last name. If ever there would be, for example, like a suffix or prefix. However, we'll ignore that for now, not necessary. Alright, so we've got this, but we need more. Let me just get this design properly here. There we are. What we need more is the position. So what is the function or the position they have? And the starting date, or employment date, starting date, and the ending date. Alright, so now we have this, and I'll just give it a nice color and some proper design. There you are, that looks a bit better. Oh, and then let's make these fine as well. Double click on it. Here we can put in some data. And this here will be most important one, because from here later on we will select the employee ID, and from there on we will automatically show the values matching. So let's say here we have our first one is John Doe, John M. Doe. And then it should be an echo here. Position will be, let's say, sales manager. Starting date is, let's say, 1 January 2020. Ending date is 6 months from here. Alright, so I'll just say this plus, let's say, 300 days. Alright, so somewhere in October. But that's not 6 months, that's way more, that's probably 10 months. Alright, same story here. I'll just copy this here and put it in here. And later on, we probably can fix some more items. And this I will call not John. Let's call this James. And this Anna. And here what we have more is Julie. And we have here Paul. All right. Paul, White, John, James. 3, I'm just making up stuff here. Alright, so I'll just put in here this A, and this will be C. So it will be easy to figure out. Sales manager, this is sales coach. I have no idea, I'm just making it up. Sales manager, sales coach, marketing assistant. This is customer service and call center agent. Alright, there we are. So now we have different positions in our company. So this is the first tab, and let's give this a proper name. This will be the employee. Alright. So next, what we have to do Oh, let me just delete this one, and what I will do is confirm. I'll just copy the consistent design that we have here. So just copy this, make a copy. All right, move to the end. All right, so in here we have the next part, which will be the certificate. Certificate. All right. Certificate will have a design. So we're going to work on the design on this. So we'll make something very simple because the focus here is not so much on the design. We can always fine-tune the design later on. However, what we do need here is very simple. Company name. This can be company logo as well. And to make sure, I'll just emphasize here the size, make it bigger. All right. So we have the company name. What we have more is, if ever you have a company logo, we can put it here up. Logo, company name, address. And that was misspelled. There we are. All right, we have the address. Anything else here could be as well, whatever you want. So now we have this part here. Then we are going to focus on the text here. So we have to indicate here, this is our certificate. So what we'll do is, I'll put in here, say certificate. All right. And here maybe we can say certificate of employment. That will be probably better. There we are. And I'll just put it in here in the center. All right. Then what we need to do is we need the text here. And so for this text, we will be having a few items here because not everything should be in here. And I'll show you later on why. Because we need to combine them together. But what I will do here is first to write the text that we have. And I just copy this. I've written it down here. So I'll just make it simple and say this is to certify that, and here will be the name. So I'll just put this in caps locks. Name has been employed with our company from, and then here we have begin date, and then to and date, and we have more holding the position of position. All right, so you probably get already what we need to do. So we have this here. We can probably move this here, and what we want to do here, we will just put it together. I'll just merge this all together, but once you merge this, you can see we're losing some items here. So let's wrap this text here, put it to the left. All right, so we have here, oh, what happened, where we need some more space. Let's merge this all together. We just moved it here. All right, there we are, begin date, end date. All right, and then what we need more is, then we have here the next text. This certification is being issued upon his, and I will just put this in caps lock, his, and the reason why is, if you have a female, it should be her. All right, so we're going to fix that later on. So his request for whatever purpose it may serve him. All right, that's also in caps locks. Why we're going to use that later on. Merge together, wrap the text, put it all up to the left side. There we are. All right, that looks nice. It looks a bit better. We have more. Issued on this date. Okay, that's the next one, and this will be issued this, and then we put in here date. So this will be the number of the day. So day number, day num, day of, then the month, and I will say here the year, comma, city. All right, so you can see here we have a lot of items together, and I'll just make this slightly bigger. There we are. That looks nicer. So that's all matched together. Merge all to the center. we're all to the left. All right, so we got now this, and this would be eventually our item. All right, then here below we have the signature. So we say here, let's say signature. Well, I will leave this blank, the signature. Well, we just make sure we put in here a border at the bottom. Okay, thick border. All right, your name, your position. Yes, or anyone's position, whoever you want to give this. So now we have this here. So that looks quite nice. And let's put this all together here, and I'll just make here a border outside. So this should be eventually the A4 format. And if we click on this button here, you can see here this will be it. We probably can extend this a bit more, make it a bit nicer. If you go back here, let's extend it slightly more. Let's see what happens once we do that. You can see here now we have it. There's still a little bit more space. All right, so a little bit more. Let's make it a bit more bigger, and we're already too big. All right, there we are. That's fine, and we can make this nicer by putting in the lines. If you would like to have more lines, or like a line for the print line. However, doesn't matter. So now we have this here. Now let's start and work on the final part, which will be the dashboard. And then after, we're going to use this formula here. And this doesn't look so nice. You will just put this all together. I'll put the wrap text here. Merge this wrap. All right, that looks slightly better. And then this we can delete, so we can go up more. Same here. Delete this. All right. So you can see here, oh, this should be merged. Let's merge this all together and at least make this bigger. There you are. All right, here we have this now. Let's start and continue with the third tab. So the third tab will be the dashboard. So I will say right click, and then to be sure, I'll just use this one because this is this is a basic layout. So what we'll say here, move or copy, and then I say create a copy, move to the end, confirm. And we call this dashboard. There we are. And what will we do on the dashboard? Well, the dashboard will eventually understand the text here, because this is our text. However, this text is not made properly for us. Why? We need to have here a few items. So we can do this easily. So I'm going to copy this, and I'm going to delete all of these text here. Then we say here in the dashboard, first of all, what do we need? Just select employee, and what we need more is, once we select the employee, well, that's basically it. We need to maybe here, if you want your name, position, but maybe you're not the person, but you want anyone in the HR department, you could basically do another one where you select the HR department in here. We'll do that later on. That will be probably a nice extra bonus exercise. But we're going to focus on this here now because we want to copy this. I'm going to copy this one again. And I'll put it here down in the bottom. And then I will unmerge this. And later on we're going to work with this to see how we can fine tune this. Alright, what we need to do here is first select the employee. I'll just give this a nice orange design. There we are. Put it in the center. And then here, this option here. To select the employee, what we need to do is we need to make a list, a drop-down list where we can select this here, the employee ID. And another option would be to select the name if ever necessary, but let's assume we're going to use the employee ID. And the employee ID is the following. Oh, sorry, we don't need to put an equal sign. Select the cell where you want it to be a drop-down. That's this cell here, B2. And then what we do is we go here to our data validation, select this and go here to list. Once we have this here, we have to select the source. So what's the source? Well, let's go to our employee. This is the source. So once we're in the employee tab, you can see that Excel understands this is an employee. Well, select all of those. This is the employee ID and confirm and press OK. All right. Now we have this, and you can see now we have this part here. However, you will say, well, this is nice, but I don't know what is whose employee ID. So maybe here probably is like select employee ID, and here we should see at least the name. Who is this person? because that becomes important. So what we will do here now is make a VLOOKUP. So we will match this here, and I'm going to put a nice design around this. Well, we have 3 items here probably, because it will be the first name, initial, and last name. And we say here VLOOKUP, VLOOKUP. All right, make sure you type it well. I'll just click here and we get the formula builder, because then you can see it more nicer. So you see the lookup value. So what's the value we're searching for? Well, that's this one here. All right, that's the employee ID that we selected. Next one, where's the table array, or where can we find the source data? Well, if you go to the employee, you can see now we go to employee tab, it understands it's in the employee tab, and then we select these values here. And you can see now we have the table array. We select all of these, all right, and then we have now the column index number. So in which column can we find the value? Well, let's look here. You can see this is column 1, column 2, column 3, column 4, 5, 6, 7. So we need it in column 2. All right, so that's what we have to put in. However, you can see here, it shows here employee, because I just click on the tab employee. I'll remove this and just say column number 2. All right, you can see now the result would be Anna, which is correct, because number 3, employee ID number 3 is Anna. All right, now you have here the range lookup. By default, you can press already enter to confirm, but I'll just say here false, because we want exact match. So Anna will maintain. All right, and done. So now we have this. If you understand what we just did here, and this was column number 2, this is column number 3, and this is column number 4. So you probably understand here now, if we have the formula, let's go back here. We have this, you can see this is our formula, but we select here column number 2. Well, we can do exactly the same, but I will just show you one more time to make sure that you understand it, but now we can go faster. VLOOKUP, the lookup value, lookup value is not here, it's here. All right, that's number 3, comma, select this, comma, the third column, we need this one, the middle initial, comma, and then we say false. Enter, there we are. And to make sure if it's correct, let's adjust this to C dot, and this will be D for number 4, and this will be E for echo, number 5, and this will be Bravo, number 2, and A for alpha, the first one. All right, so you can see this is matching, and if we select number 1 or number 2, B for James, and A for alpha, that's correct. Same story here, let's do it again. VLOOKUP, open parentheses, lookup value number 1 here in this case, comma, table array, select this table array here, comma, and now we need the 4th column, yes, 1, 2, 3, 4, last name, all right, and then I say here false to confirm false, enter. All right, so now we have this, and then let's remove this. All right, now we have this. What we need to do more, because now we can see here our values works. So now we need to match the text here. So we have here a few items. So let's make this. Can we wrap text? This is string to fit. No. What I will do is I will make this bigger, so we can see here. So basically we have a few items here, and I'm going to show you a special trick called concatenate, or that's the formula for this. So what we need to do here is basically this. Oh wait, before we do that, what I want to do is I want to get the begin date, end date, and position being displayed here. Even though we don't do anything else, we'll display it here for now. All right, so we say begin date, end date, and position, and eventually we should have something like male, female, but we'll wait for that one later on. All right, so I just select this, get all of designs. That looks nice. Put in some nice borders. No, I realize that this is probably redundancy or not necessary. Shift them to the left. All right, and the reason why, or move them to the left. We only need this one here. All right, so the begin date. Well, what is the begin date? Begin date must be a VLOOKUP as well. We're going to use only VLOOKUP for all of these values here. Let's go. Say VLOOKUP, and this will be the value, comma, table array, same story. Select all of these, And then we need the begin date, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So this is 6, and this is 7, and this will be 5. Alright, so remember that. So this will be 6. We look up 6, false, enter. Alright, don't worry about this, we will later fix that. This was 6, so I'm just going to copy this formula. Now you probably understand what we're doing. This will be 7. Alright, then we have here position will be number 5. Marketing assistant, let's see if that's correct. Let's see, Anna. Yeah, Anna is the marketing assistant. That is correct. So you can see here, we have here a design. That design is not matching here. All right. So what we need to do here is because basically how it works, Excel works with numbers. It indicates a date as a number. So if you select this and we just convert this, format the cells, and we say here date, and I want to show the date will be March. There we are. Double click. There you are. All right. So now we have this, and this is what do you call this? This is the date. And what I want to do is I want to do some adjustments here. So we have some differences. So let's say here this will be starting in 19, and this one will be 18, and this will be let's say this one will be somewhere in June, and this will be somewhere in March. Alright, so we have some differences here that looks slightly better, which we can see here as well. So if we now select, we get now all these differences here. Beautiful. Alright, so now we have this. Let's start to work with this. So this, what we need here is the concatenate function. Concatenate function. And what it does really is this. It basically combines words together. So let me show you. Let's say here. This is ABC. All right. So if we type in concatenate, sorry, select this. All right. Then you can see here the text, or it gives you the options. You can keep on selecting the text here. So you can see here, this is ABC. However, there is no space between it. So we can do two things. We can put in a space, or we use a cell with a space value in there. So for example, this. And then we go back here. There's a comma, and then we select this cell here. Now there's space. However, this might not be very practical. What you can do here is another option, is the following. Let's remove this. You say just double quotations with a space between, and then here as well, double quotations, and a comma, so you have a new value in here and space between. There we are. So this is, alright? So which one you prefer depends on yourself, doesn't matter so much. You can do with a cell reference to keep it easy, so you just can click, 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 or you can type it in here. It's up to you. Alright, so you probably understand now what we need to do. What we need to do is we need to break down this entire sentence. And this entire sentence will eventually become one complete sentence with the values above here. Alright, so what we have to do is we just get this here. We say this is to certify. Alright, and you can put a space between here to make it easier as well. That's fine. That name, and then here the name itself will become a concatenation as well. Why? We have this name here we need to put in. So we say here equal concatenate this, comma, quotation space quotation, comma, echo, comma, quotation space quotation, comma, white. Enter. So you can see this is to certify that Paul White is and then has been employed by the company from, there we are, and then now we need the begin date, which will be equal this, and then we say 2 equal that, and then we say here holding the position of, and here I will just copy this including the space, position of equal that. All right, so let's see what we have here now. This is to certify. All right, so let me make sure, because I noticed that if you put space here, it should be very consistent. I'm going to remove the space here, just for the sake of consistency, because it will be hard to trace or to figure out if I put it in or not. So let's remove here the off. All right, so we go here, and then now we say concatenate. Concatenate. I'm typing always wrong. Sorry for that. Select this, comma, space between here, comma. Then we have the next position, comma, space between here, comma. Then this, comma, space between here, comma. This, comma, space between here, comma. This, oh, you can see it's blocking it, so I'm just using my arrow keys on the keyboard, comma, space between here, comma. And select this one, all right, comma, space between here, comma, this, comma, then double quotation again for some space, call center agent, and I'm not sure for position of call center agent, all right, and then comma, and what I want to do here, quotation and then dot, just to complete it with a nice dot, all right, enter. So now we have this. So we have our item here now, and you can see our text looks perfect here. So this is to certify that Paul E. White has been employed with our company from, and you can see here we have the date numbers. Don't worry, we'll solve this later on. And we have here our text. All right, so we can use this already. How can we do that? Well, very simple. Here, we just select equal, and then we just grab this info here, or you can grab the formula what we have here built in. All right, so that's number one. So now what's the next one here? This is the next item. Let's copy this. All right, and then we go and we post. Oh, we just delete this, and then here you're pasting the same size, or isn't the same size? Okay, confirm. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to unmerge this, and I'm going to go back here. I'll just copy this and paste this. All right. And here we have to make sure that we have all the right info as well. So this is again another concatenate. And this concatenation where we focus on the text here. Exactly the same, except here we will make sure that this will become male or female depending on. All right. So we're going to copy this text here. We put it in here. Certificate issued upon his. Well, we're going to cut away this, put this in here, then the request will be removed as well, and whatever purpose, the dot, him, and then maybe a dot. We can remove that, we can use that as a code. All right, so here we're going to use again concatenate. Concatenate and select here this, comma, and then we have space, comma, select his, comma, space, comma, then we can go down here, the third one, comma, space, comma, then him, comma, quotation, dot, quotation, and then close. All right. So that works nicely. So what we can do here is we can just equal that one. There we are. And what we can do here is with a VLOOKUP. And basically our VLOOKUP, well, we don't need really a VLOOKUP. We can do equal here. And what we do here is equal, or maybe if. That's maybe a better one. We do an if statement. So if this equals, we will say male. Yes, we call letter M, male. Then show him, comma. Oh, sorry. Make sure we have here quotation as well, because we need to make sure that this is a string. And if that's not the case, in that case, show her. All right, enter. Right now it's her. Why? Because we don't have anything here. We can solve that here by putting in here gender. Let me put that in here, and this was male, male, female, female, male. All right, let's go back here. This one we just do a VLOOKUP on this one right now. VLOOKUP, and our VLOOKUP is depending on this, comma, go back here, select all of these, comma, column index number is the last column. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Am I correct? 8. Yes, that's 8. Number 8. Range lookup is false. Enter. All right. So what if I say number 1? That's also number 3, female. Then you say, you see here it's her. All right. We do exactly the same, but in this case, we just copy this. So we have here him and her. If I'm not mistaken, his and her, and this should be him. Upon that may serve her, may serve him. All right. So now we have that, and now we have this working as well. Equal. Select here our concatenation. There you are. I would like to have a insert here, so we have some space between here. And now we have the final one. So the final one will be this part here. Let's copy this. Or I'm just going to copy the text. Go back here. And we have a new concatenation. I can just delete this. Just delete this, and all the cells should move to the left. There we are. Boom. This is issued. Let's make this a merge again. All right. And here we do concatenate as well. So concatenation in this case will be multiple items. Let me say here, this will be issued this, and then what we have here is the day number. All right. So enter, and we have here the day of. Enter. Then we have month and year. Year, all right. And then we have here a comma, and then we have city. And then after we will have a dot. All right. So now we can say here. So what is this? So this is basically today. Yes. So we say today, and then we can say here, this is the today. So what we need to have here is the day of today, and we can do that here. We have this, and then you say today, and we do another formula in here. This is the day. Oh, that doesn't work correctly. So what we need to do here is the formula. We're going to get the formula out. We're going to extract the day out of it. So what we need to do here is basically we were correct. Just only realize that we say the day of today, because today is the 30th. You can see it gets the 30th, but it doesn't get the year. So you would say, what's the problem here? Well, we need to adjust the design. So we're going to readjust the day, and I only want the number of it. Can I extract the number here? It's custom. Is it only the specific day I want? So if I just remove this and make DD, all right, confirm, there you are. So that will be it. And then we can do the same here with the month. And if you find that hard one, what we can do here as well is a date, make it today. Today, because this is the easiest way to do it. Just say this, and then we put in here day, day, that, there you are. This is probably the easiest one, and then we say here same month with the reference. That's the month of, and maybe here you say, well, I don't want the number one. You're right, you want the text version of that. So more formats. Let's look at this. We have the day, and then we have only the month. No, I guess that is, and we can do full month or just the 3 letters. It's fine, it's up to you. Say here year, and there we are. So we've got this city, wherever you are, doesn't matter, but that will be basically up to your own company, wherever your company is. And then we have our text. So let's concatenate this. Concatenate this, comma, quotation space, comma, select this, comma, quotation space, comma, this, comma, quotation space, comma, this, comma, quotation space, comma, this, comma, quotation. This was on this day of this year. All right, so we don't do anything here because we have the comma already. There's a comma built in here. Yes, comma, quotation space, comma, city, comma, quotation dot, sorry, quotation dot, enter. All right, so you can see here now. Oh, did I have an extra space here? Yeah, unwanted. There we are. So now we have this. Let's copy this, or let's put a reference on it, refer that to this one here, and there we are. So now we have this, and now all we need to do is here, because what happens here exactly? You would say, well, for some reason it doesn't see it. Well, you're right. The reason why it doesn't see it is because we need to convert it into a text, because we have this now here, and we need to now display it as a, we need to force this here in a text version so it will understand it is a text. So let's start and explore that. So to do that, all you have to do is the following. We're going to use this function here, the text function. And then what we will do is we will solve this value. So we select this value, or we're going to select this value because that's basically the value we need. And then we're going to convert it. So what do we want to convert? Well, we want to convert it into exactly the same what we have here. So we say double quotation, because this is a string. So string means text, and double quotation indicates now we have a string. Say M, so 4 times an M for month, space, because we want to have a space between here, and then we say D, delta, for the day, or the number of the day, comma, space, Yankee 4 times for the year. Alright, so once we did that, double quotations, closing it, and enter. There we are. So now that looks very nice. So if we would just cut this, put it in here, enter. And now you can see our text here for our concatenation start to match up correctly. We can do the same here. You say here, text, then we select the value, comma, then we say again here, 4 times mama, and then we have, space, and then delta, comma, Yankee, double quotation, and closing parentheses. There we are. Once we enter this, we've got this now, and this should match correctly. So as you can see here, so now we have this, the day of 30th of the 1st. Oh, you can see here number 1. I don't like this. Should we convert it to a proper text? Yes, that is correct. So we can do that here immediately. So what we'll do here is the month. So we say here text, open, we have the value. Here, this is our value, it's already a formula, but then we say here the month, and that is double quotation, and then 4 times letter M, so mama, double quotation, enter. Alright, so now we've got this, and that looks perfect. We've got this as well, so let's select a new person. Instead of Anna, we have today, or we have a new person, or another person who wants to have a certificate. Number 1 is John Doe. Let's see how John Doe goes. Alright, you can see here we have all the information. We issued it today. We see his and may serve him. And we see here also the employment date. Let's double check employment date. That's correct. One more time. Let's try now Paul White, call center agent. You go in here. Number 5, Paul White, all the dates, call center agent, and male, his, him, this is the date, March up to December 26. Is that correct? December 26, 2020. Yes, and that's it. So this is basically how you can do it. And you could remove this eventually by, if you remove this, you need to have the cell reference properly stored, but this is basically how you can do it. And this is how you make your own employment for automated certificate for employment. So if you like tips and tricks in Excel and videos like these, subscribe to my channel. And if you have questions, don't hesitate to ask them, put them in the comment section below.